Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies. That's right. Whew. Welcome back. This is the podcast all about movies. We talk about a single movie each episode, a review/discussion about each movie, of course. Today's movie we'll introduce in uno momento. But first, I would like to ask you guys to send us your film recommendations. That's right. If you send us your film recommendation, you can get a chance to have your opinions on this podcast. Personally. You can get to this by going on to the YouTube channel and commenting on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z. And you can send us an email at ff.filmfreakswithaz@gmail.com, or you can go into my Discord, the Yemmy the Ferret Nation Discord, and talk in the movie reviews section to recommend a movie as well. That's the newest one. Alright, enough about that. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we introduce the film. I am Yemmy the Ferret. Who am I here with?
Taymation.
All right, just Taymation. Hey, all right.
Welcome. I'm glad to be here alone with you, Yemmy.
I was waiting for Kalas.
Coco, you always go after Tay.
Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Well, I figured Kalas is our special guest, so we're going to do him last.
Yeah, that's right. We do him last.
I was confused. It's been weeks since we've done this.
31 some episodes in, and Coco doesn't know how to do the intro.
Oh, you don't either, apparently.
That's true. But I've already told you guys that I can't read, so.
Yeah, don't get on me.
You're reading? I thought you had this stuff memorized by now.
31 episodes in and you still have to read it?
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Who am I here with?
Taymation.
Coco Gamer.
And we have a special guest today filling in the void that Greedy Waffle has left because he is not able to join us today. Who are we here with is special today?
Hello, I am Kalas, but please call me JustKalas, not JustKalas.
That's right. Kalas is a good friend of ours. He recommended today's movie, actually. So if you want to be just like Kalas, first you're going to have to dye your hair blue, but then you can also recommend a movie to us if you want to. Kalas, how have you been? How you doing? What's up?
I'm doing pretty good. Let me know if you guys want me to permanently replace Greedy Waffle. I would have no problems doing that.
I'll have to bring it up with the legal department.
I mean, I guess we could maybe add a fifth, but does that ruin our dynamic?
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I guess only time will tell. But yes, we do unfortunately have a void to fill since Greedy Waffles wasn't able to join us today. But luckily it kind of all worked out because Kalas is joining us today for the fan-voted movie. That's right, this movie did win the fan vote. Kalas, why don't you introduce this film?
It would be my pleasure. So the movie that I picked is Falling Down, released in 1993. Directed by legendary and genius director Joel Schumacher, who's responsible for movies such as Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Awesome movies. So the movie is about... Oh, wait. You guys say the cast first, right?
No, you say the cast after.
Oh, after? Okay. So Falling Down is about an ordinary man frustrated with the various flaws he sees in society, begins to psychotically and violently lash out against them. Nice and quick description. The movie stars Michael Douglas, Robert Duvall, Barbara Hershey, and so on. Other non-important actors.
All actors are important. Name them all.
Like 1 second. But that's the entire good thing about the film.
Was that it for the intro, or is there anything else?
Where would you like us to start
you
talking?
got to start off the conversation.
I see. Well, first, let me say this is a movie that I first saw like 15 years ago. I forgot why or how, but like a bunch of like people that I knew, like we kind of all saw it at the same time, like or around the same time, and like for weeks it was like the one movie we kept talking about over and over. We just kept, just discussing the various things in this movie, and that was like the first and only time I've seen it. So that's why I wanted to recommend it for you guys, because it's been like 15 years since I saw it, and I wanted to re-watch it and see what all the fuss was about.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll start with that. What was your guys' overall opinion on Falling Down?
Well, first off, I just want to say, I know it's been like a year, and so you probably are forgetting, but theaters used to be a thing. So that's probably how you all saw it around the same time together.
No, it was like 10 years after it came out, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I forgot 15 years ago wasn't the 90s. Never mind. All right. So my overall thoughts, I'll start. Sure. I don't know. There's things I really... Like, there were some things I liked about this movie, and then there were some things I really hated about this movie, and then there were some things I was just kind of mad about, and, like, it was kind of... The best way to put it was a roller coaster ride of, like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, that was dumb. That was okay. That was dumb. Well, that was cool. Oh, but that was dumb. I don't know if anyone else felt that. It was just it was a roller coaster ride the whole time.
What about you, Coco?
I have to agree with that. Like, there's some parts where, like, I did enjoy, like, there was some attention to detail and stuff. But there's other parts I'm like, why? like also, like, some characters, I was just like, it's not good. Like, if you're playing, I get you're playing, like, a douchey character, but it just didn't play out well, to me.
I agree, yeah. But Yemmy, what did you think?
I didn't like the way that this movie made me feel. Honestly, like,
yeah,
I don't know, I was feeling very anxious while watching this movie, just because, like,
yes.
the interactions kind of made me feel so weird, and I didn't like that at all. Like,
yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that was intentional.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I was like, one of the reasons I was like, okay, that's kind of cool if that was intentional, because I definitely felt that way the whole time. But if it wasn't intentional, then you're just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was very much intentional. Like, a lot of the situations and like, there was a lot of awkwardness too, I've noticed, and that was, I think, also intentional.
Yeah, like, even within the first 5 minutes, it's just loud, annoying noises and, like, horrible visuals because it's a traffic jam, and you're just like, ugh, I'm anxious and I hate this.
Yeah, you definitely felt claustrophobic in that first part, because you're kind of feeling like he does inside of that small, cramped car. There's no air conditioning, obviously. The sweat's pouring off of him. The kids are being annoying. The girl in front of him, I felt like maybe she was making him uncomfortable just because she was staring at him the whole time. Then, of course, the fly, which maybe was in there, maybe wasn't. It's hard to say.
Definitely was not.
Yeah. Like, that kind of pushed him over the edge, and finally he just walked out. And I will say that the description of this movie says that he broke down on the freeway, and that's not true, because,
yes.
I mean, he just got out of his car and left. He didn't break down. I mean, his air conditioner broke, but his car was still functional at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say that he just, like, had enough that moment in there, like, right then and there. But I guess, yeah, not exactly breaking down.
No, yeah, he left the car, and they had to move it out of the way.
But I do like how that kind of loops around to the ending of the movie, and how the detective is able to figure out who it was, causing a lot of mischief around the town. That was a nice little, like, we kind of circled all the way to the beginning now, haven't we?
Yeah.
I guess we can... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Kalas, because I was going to say something that would kind of cut to the ending, so let's go with whatever you're saying first.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the exact opposite, which is let's talk about, like, the very first confrontation in, like, that convenience store.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that whole scene with him freaking out over the prices?
My biggest problem is, like, throughout this whole movie, he's like, he's pointing out problems with, like, capitalism and things like that, and consumerism and stuff, which, it's like, it's valid, but then he takes it out on the wrong. Yeah, then he takes it out on the wrong people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't take it out on the, minimum wage employee at a hamburger joint.
Yeah, especially with that first guy. You definitely feel some racist undertones in that entire section, more so than later in the movie, obviously. But, like, would he have done what he did in that convenience store if the guy was
white,
not an immigrant? Like, But you know, like selling it for a markup is normal. Like I kept thinking that the entire time through. It's like, yeah, he bought it for 50 cents and he's selling it for 86 cents. It's like, okay, that's business. Like what do you expect him to do? Just sell everything exactly, you know, for exact price? It's lunacy, really, is what it is. And I never got around to agreeing with anything that this defense character did.
Yeah, and part of that I think is just like this movie didn't age very well in a lot of regards, because you know back then he's like this can't be 50 cents, and like nowadays you're like yeah he paid 50 cents for that. Probably he paid a nickel for it. Mm-hmm. Like you could go to vending machines during the 90s and drinks were 50 cents in the vending machines.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was upset there, is because he could have gone to a vending machine and got it for 50 cents.
Yeah, but
I guess support local business doesn't apply back in the day.
Yeah, not for Joel Schumacher.
Also makes more sense that they charge him markup because you gotta get some cash out, some money out of it, because instead of just charging what you just buy at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I also when the store keepers like, you know, take all the cash out of the cash register. I mean, obviously it's a normal thing to say when someone's waving a baseball bat around in your store and breaking things, you know, and it makes him even more angry. And I'm like, this is a moment where you need to kind of look into the other person's shoes, and never throughout this movie does defense do that.
Yeah,
I guess that's also made clear, like by the end of the movie, that he very clearly has like some mental problems. Like there, something is definitely not right in his brain.
Definitely. So since it was Michael Douglas playing this, and Michael Douglas plays Hank Pym in Ant-Man, and like knowing Hank Pym's story in the comics stuff, I'm like, this is just AU Hank Pym.
I forgot about that.
And, yeah, it's like violent. He works in defense things. Yeah, this is just if he didn't create the Ant-Man suit.
Basically.
The unsuccessful Hank Pym.
The very unsuccessful Hank Pym. Alternate universe Hank Pym.
So yeah, he definitely has like some very serious anger issues, and I guess that he's been like, I guess that when he has this quote unquote breakdown in the car, that's when he decides, you know what, whatever, I'm not gonna hold back my anger anymore. I'm just gonna lash out at whatever upsets me. And
basically.
Yeah.
So the next confrontation was with the gangster guys, and how was he able to like overpower both of them so easily?
Well, he smacked him with a bat when they weren't expecting that.
It's all about the element of surprise. When you have it on your side, then you can stun the opponent even without even making a hit on him.
Yeah, and at that time they only had the one knife on them, and he smacked the knife out of the guy's hand and broke the guy's arm.
I guess so.
And the other guy was, you know, defenseless and was like, "Oh crap, I'm not taking on a guy with a bat."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I was hoping that would happen in this movie is like, so he started out with a bat, and then he acquired the knife. And what I was hoping he would do is like, as he goes from confrontation to confrontation, he would like upgrade his weapon to like something bigger or better.
He did.
Sort of like a game. I wanted.
He did though. He
Just
went
sort
from
of-
bat to knife to guns to rocket launcher.
Yeah, he went
To
guns. He got,
water
I got
pistol.
all of them. So.
Yeah, he did the hack where he gave all guns to himself in like GTA, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a cheat.
Yeah. But I do agree that it would have been cooler to have him like progressively get more, as in like, you know, he gets a handgun, then he gets like a machine gun, then he gets the rocket launcher.
Instead, they just like here's like
He has everything.
It's everything now.
handgun.
Women better.
Did you guys see this movie as having like a lot of comedic elements to it?
No, not at all.
No, I didn't laugh once. I mean, if I was
No?
supposed to
I didn't
laugh,
realize, you know, like, I think there was like that one time where it's like, oh, he accidentally shot it. I'm like, it's like,
That's
oh,
really
he
it.
just-
Sorry.
I'm like, that's so cheesy.
yeah, the problem is like because of the way that the movie made me feel, I couldn't see it as a comedy, or you know, the jokes I wasn't seeing as a joke. I was just seeing it as like a deranged madman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like I don't even think it's a
around.
dark comedy. Like maybe there was a few little almost jokes in there, but overall, yeah, no, this definitely was not a comedy. I didn't see it as a comedy.
See, that's very interesting because when I first saw it and I was discussed it with friends like all those years ago, we kind of did see it as sort of a comedy, and we were like laughing at all
How
the different
old
things
were
that
you?
happened. This was like in college years, I guess.
Because I feel like that it depending on your age, I could see that, but like I think I don't know, when you're older, you look at this and you're just seeing this as an adult, you're like, huh.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting because like watching it now, like I didn't find it as funny. Like I still laughed at some of the parts, like the restaurant has some funny parts to it, like when the lady threw up on her all over her plate, and just stuff like awkward stuff like that.
You heard it here first, folks. A man pointing guns at children is funny to Callis.
Now wait a minute.
No way.
You said it, Callis. That's on you.
Yeah. Plus, let's talk about that restaurant scene because that was my least favorite scene out of the whole movie because I've been in that position of a worker at a
Right?
McDonald's, and I'm like, yeah, we've when you move over from breakfast to lunch, there's no going back. I know people are like,
Exactly.
oh, it's so easy, just cook up an egg. It's like it's not that easy. You have to
Right.
change the grills. You don't have any breakfast food left because once the clock hits 11 o'clock or whatever, you throw it all away. You get the new stock in, and it turns to lunch. And
Exactly.
it was infuriating to me because like I was in those people's positions at one point in my life, and I knew how well, I'm going to say the word unstable that the customers can be, but it's true. It really is true
Yeah,
how
it
unstable
is true.
people can be
Well,
just
like
by
I said-
those little things.
It comes back to, like I said, he's mad at society for like consumerism and capitalism and stuff, but he's taking it out on the wrong people.
Yeah.
And also, he doesn't even get breakfast in the end. He's like, "Oh, I'd rather have lunch now." I was like, "Then what's the point of delaying breakfast?"
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, they're
huge
making-
douche move.
Right, they're making such a big fuss, like
Yeah.
setting the gun up and like just making this big ruckus, and at the end he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll have lunch. I changed my mind."
He's a Karen.
Yeah, he is a Karen.
I need to speak to your manager. Yeah. And that's the problem is like when people write, whoever wrote the screenplay, I don't know if it was Joel Schumacher or somebody else, but they like again, so like Yemmy says, he's actually been in fast food and knows how the process is done between going from breakfast to lunch. The screenwriter clearly does not.
Yeah.
The writer is Abby Rose Smith, who also wrote Turner and Hooch.
Oh, okay. Turner
Among
and
other
Hooch is a much
things.
better movie. But yeah, no, like so that's the problem with a lot of screenwriters is a lot of times they don't necessarily do the research they should or understand certain things that they write, and then it just everyone else who knows how things work go, that's just unrealistic and stupid.
Like once that clock hits like 11:30, everything shifts, everything changes because you need to cook all new ingredients and stuff. You don't just keep them around.
Yeah,
Well,
and
some-
you don't
with-
want the last bit of breakfast food either because that stuff's been in the tray the longest usually.
Yeah. Let's say like they were saying, "Oh, we can't give you that," and then when they finally were going to give it to them, they just pulled it off the heat lamp. It's
Yeah.
like you would
it's-
not be like, "Oh, you can't have it" if you have it sitting there already prepared.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I wanted to shift real quick. Let's talk about Robert Duvall's character, Detective Pendergast.
Well, besides having a stupid name, and everyone just calling him by his last name, which was annoying because it's like, okay, we get it. He has a weird last name. Stop saying it. But so the thing I was most worried about is like they kept setting this precedent of like, oh, everyone dies on their retirement day, and he was like the most likable character, I feel, in the movie. Like he still had problems, but he was the most likable.
Would you say the least likable is Michael Douglas or Pendergast's wife?
Oh no, it's probably the police chief.
Yeah.
Oh, chief, yeah.
You
It's a lot
kinda-
of likable characters here.
Yeah, I mean, even though I think the wife was written to be like whiny, whatever, but it's like they also explain like why she is the way she is, and it's like it's a sad story, and you're like, okay, so you're trying to make us not like his wife, and you're trying to make like him standing up to his wife, blah blah blah, be like this huge moment and whatever, but it's like, but I still feel bad for her either way.
Right, that was actually like one of the few times where I'm like, you were a good character, and then you did that. Now I'm kind of hating on you.
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
Like, I understand all the other characters being like, oh, you shouldn't let her push you around and blah 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 blah. But it's like they also don't know, X, Y, and Z about their past. You can't butt in like that. And then when he does finally confront her, it's just like I feel worse. I just feel bad for her as a character, and then they write her as like, I guess I'm in my place now. It just seemed very very
it was
weird.
very 90s, and it was just like
They're not
women should be in their place kind of thing, and that bugged me.
Well, they also had like that with the not Nazi guy, where they also had like all that anti-gay stuff and all that.
I was worried at first that they were when he was being all anti-gay and stuff, and I was like, ugh. And then when he helped out Michael Douglas for a second, I was like, are they trying to make this anti-gay guy? Like, I didn't know if this was right at the turn when like the Hollywood sign was like, gay people are okay, or if they were still on the gay people are just bad. I was like, are they making this anti-gay guy a hero here? Or then when they went full Nazi with him and ended up killing him, I was like, well, at least if you're going to kill somebody, Michael Douglas, I guess at least it's that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that
was
whole,
that the first? Sorry.
Well, that whole sequence was just a train wreck of like, this is like the lowest of the low that this movie can possibly get, and I don't see how much lower it could go with its.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
it was just that whole segment. Like, I know I've said this a few times that I felt weird through this whole movie. That part was like the number one part where it's like you just feel the worst.
It's not good. Like, I get they're trying to like show like him meeting like someone very, very bad, but still, it's just like it didn't turn out well. It just seems so bad.
Plus, they needed. I mean, maybe they shouldn't have toned it down because there's obviously people out there like that. But
exactly
for the context of the movie, maybe you should tone it down a little bit. But because then it just seems like the person who's writing the movie is homophobic or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I'm like, is this movie homophobic or is it not? I can't tell. Because, like I said, he helped them away. Helped hide them from the cops. When the cops showed up, they helped hide defense from the cops. And you're like, oh no, are they making this like anti-gay guy a hero?
They kept changing shifts. Okay.
Yeah. And then suddenly he's full on Nazi, and then you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I could tell he was going to be a Nazi anyways, but
yeah, the way he dresses as well.
But and then after that, does it go to the club after that, or is there something I'm missing between?
The
phone booth. The phone booth.
Yeah, he shoots a phone booth.
Yeah. But then after that, he went through like the rich part of town or whatever, and caught those people in the pool, and he was ready to like aim guns at them and take them hostage.
Just before that, it was the construction scene with the rocket launcher.
Oh yeah. That was probably the best part, where the kid shows up and tells him how to work the rocket launcher, and it's like,
on TV.
Why does the kid know this? Oh, okay.
I'm
sure that was. Yeah, I'm sure that was like a call to like kids watch too much violence, which they do, but
I guess that's them trying to make another commentary on stuff, society.
Yeah, probably video games.
Yeah, if there was a part that I was going to laugh at, that would probably have been the part.
Yeah,
especially because it wasn't like an intense part. That part definitely did feel more like a comedy, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Just because of the whole circumstances of it all. Then of course the rocket doesn't just explode on impact with the sewer. It goes through the sewer into whatever it blew up in the end. And I'm like, this movie took a bit of a tonal shift for sure. And even though I still I still didn't enjoy how the people interacted together, I do see how there was a little bit of like, and all of a sudden it's slapstick. Hey.
Yeah.
I definitely noticed that they did try to like sprinkle in a lot of like slapstick-ish things like throughout the movie, but I guess it didn't really, with like how tense everything is, it didn't really pan out that way.
Yeah. And then, like I said, when he gives the guy a heart attack, at that point you're just like, well, I mean, that guy probably deserves it. It's fine. And then he takes the people hostage, and that's when he kind of realizes, oh wait, people think I'm trying to take him hostage. am I? And that's where he starts to get the hint. Oh wait, am I a bad guy? It's like, yeah, you are a really bad dude.
Yeah.
And so then he heads to the wife. I guess we'll just jump ahead. So one thing that bugged me there is the wife, escapes the house before he gets in there, and he watches the home videos, and she talks about in the videos, she mentions like the pier is her favorite place, and he immediately is like, of course she went to the pier. It's like, why would she do that? Why wouldn't she go to the police?
Well, that's
know, right?
well. The thing is, the police have been so incompetent through this
And
whole thing,
I know,
just kind of
but
leaving. So why she probably was like, well, fuck the police. They're not going to help.
well, they probably wouldn't, but like I feel like going to the police station would probably be the safest place. Like, even if they're not going to help anything, just standing in the police station is probably going to be safer than going to the pier to buy a hot dog.
That's true.
Especially since the pier is like a dead end with like no escape.
Yeah.
Exactly. Of all places, you choose a dead end.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense that she would go to the pier to escape him. And then, like you said, when he finally finds her, she's like buying a hot dog or something. It's like, seriously, you're being chased by your ex-husband, who you think has pretty sure he has a gun, wants to kill you, and you went, I know, I'll go to the pier, I'll get a hot dog. That'll fix it. Yeah, that does not make sense.
Trying to calm down a kid, but still, that's not a good place to stay.
Yeah.
So like Yemmy mentioned earlier, like the whole movie throughout, like kept alluding to how the Pendergast might get shot, and you know, his last day, and he might, suffer something. Like, did you guys think that he was gonna get shot in this final scene?
Oh yeah, I was worried about it. Like throughout the whole movie, I'm like, he's going to get shot, and Michael Douglas is going to live somehow, and which was going to really piss me off. It's like the one decent character you have, you're going to kill off, and then you're going to let this asshole live. That's what I was worried about. Obviously.
That would have been a 2020 ending.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Honestly, I knew that they were going to let him live just because of how hard they were hammering in, like, oh, you're going to die if you do anything today, blah, blah, blah. I was like, he's not going to die. Especially after it showed him putting that squirt gun into his pocket. And I was like, okay, so, even though he still has a real gun after he leaves the house, he has that squirt gun now for whatever reason.
Yeah. See, I missed that he put the squirt gun in his pocket. Like, I looked away from the TV or something.
Yeah,
it
was like a 1 second scene,
Yeah, and I was like, when he's like, I still got another gun, I was thinking, yeah, he probably does. He had a bag of them.
Yeah, I know. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually had a real gun there.
Yeah.
Also, I don't understand how, with that squirt gun, and we all know how squirt guns work, especially those shitty, like, dollar store ones, the range on that thing to hit the officer in the face, like...
Yeah. Yeah. Like, damn, that one, like, 30 feet.
I also don't believe that he would have shot first in any circumstance, because the police guy, he had the gun drawn, and he was pointing at him the whole time, and as soon as something whipped out, he would have blasted him there, but...
At that point, I think he was hoping to get shot. He wanted to get shot, because he finally had realized, oh, crap, I am the bad guy. Best thing I can do for everyone is die.
Yeah, his intention was definitely to get shot by him.
Yeah, I just don't understand why he apparently would have been able to get off a bullet, right? Defense. Well,
how Sandergass or whatever his name is a bad shot apparently, or too kind. He's too kind because he doesn't say the F word.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, I don't understand. I was under the impression that defense had put on like body armor or something during the whole Nazi guy scene. Because it even looks like he has like something under his shirt the whole time he's running around. And I know that towards the end it's just the squib kits for the bullet holes to be put into him for the special effect. But it definitely looked like he had something under that I don't know, onesie the entire time for the movie.
Jumpsuit.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't you ever go to bed in your army pajamas?
Some people probably do.
It's so weird.
I don't. I don't have any army pajamas, but
we kind of went.
That's fine. Go ahead, Kalas.
We kind of went through the movie quick, but I wanted to quickly touch on a Pendergast characters and Sandra, the other cop detective. Like, was it just me, or were they trying to like kind of allude to there's something being between those two?
I definitely felt sexual tension between them.
Yeah, I felt like it was more of a like daughter-dad kind of relationship they had.
Maybe.
Yes.
But I mean, with Hollywood, who knows? Because Hollywood doesn't care about age differences.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had a hard time like trying to figure out what they were trying to like convey there. Like the way they just
Yeah.
the way they even looked at each other and just like, like something was supposed to be going on there.
Yeah, and like the way that he talked to his wife about the whole like going and doing things, he never mentioned, or it seemed like the wife was alluding that he had been unfaithful in the past or whatever too.
Yeah. Well, especially like when she answered the phone from the wife, and she's like, "I know who this is," but I feel like it kind of felt like they were talking about an affair, but it's because they were used to be partners, like and so the wife immediately knew, oh crap, my husband is out on the street, even though he's supposed to be behind a desk. That was kind of what I thought they were trying to allude to, but it also could have been fair. So who
knows?
Only Joel
never
Schumacher.
I don't know if Joel Schumacher knows either.
Yeah, probably. Okay, the screenwriter probably knows. That's the problem. Is the screenwriter probably his intent was like, her intent was probably like, yeah, it's just like a father-daughter kind of relationship. And Joel Schumacher went, I bet I could make this sexy. And that's the problem with if the directors don't actually work with the screenwriters, they interpret how they see fit. So,
By the way, I can confirm that cop detective is in fact a waifu. In case any of you were wondering.
You think Sandergass is a waifu?
Yeah, no comment.
Each their own, I guess. Each their own. That's fine.
So, is there anything else anyone wanted to add? Any other scene?
I think it's not a super long movie, and I think we kind of went scene by scene on this, which is rare.
Basically.
We usually jump all over the place, but this one we just started and went through it.
It's because each scene kind of had like a very very big thing happen. Every one. Basically.
Yeah. Each scene was like its own three scene act.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you think of like the sudden change of the party they were throwing him? Just like they mentioned it before, but I didn't expect they actually do it.
Yeah, it kind of goes from like intense, like we're gonna hunt down this guy, to all of a sudden he like has to stay and party for a little bit.
Yeah.
Luckily he gets out of it by punching a dude in the face, but.
Yeah, I enjoyed that moment.
It was a good moment. That guy deserved it.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, he deserved it, but that's because the only scenes they showed of him was like a few scenes of him just being a jerk or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he didn't actually deserve it, Maybe
he deserved it.
I don't know. That's one of those characters where it's like he's there just to be like that kind of character who needs to be punched in the face. It's like yeah, but I don't know.
Those type of characters always deserve it because if they're written that way for the few scenes they're in, chances are they're like that all the time.
If I've learned anything from Encino Man, punch everyone. just punch everyone.
Especially Sean Astin. Or David. His name was David in that movie, right? Goddamn David.
I try to forget, actually.
Well, I'm sorry. But I have nothing else to add to this movie, really. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah, I just want to say I think the special effects were pretty good, even the blood effects, and also I thought the acting was pretty good too. Like for what I was interpreting, like everything just kind of worked in the acting aspect of things. Even though I didn't like agree with everything that was going on, I still think that everyone put like 100% into it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Agreed.
Like even sorry, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name.
Pendergast.
Yeah, Pendergast. He was like there's moments where even he was like supposed to be some deranged person going down. It was really good acting for a surprisingly movie that didn't.
You're talking about defense.
Defense. Yeah, defense. That's what I mean. Yeah, there were some good scenes where I was like, "Oh, that's actually really good acting."
Michael Douglas is a good actor.
Yeah,
so.
especially in the close-ups when it's like just his eyes. Like he can convey the emotion really well just through, arrows darting out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Also, like the quack they showed on his glasses.
Yeah.
When he was with the kids and all that. Shotgun. It was like aiming at the family.
Oh, now Coco's laughing at guns being aimed at children.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, oh my god, I didn't mean to hurt him. Like, you have a shotgun aimed at them. What do you expect them to do?
All right. Yeah, Kalas, you want to start us off with your final thoughts and rating out of 5?
Sure. Well, first of all, let me say that the cover for the movie is bullcrap, because he's shown like at the top of a hill holding a briefcase and a shotgun, something that never happens in the movie. So, they deceived me, and I'm very upset. No,
Kalas
but the movie
will be writing to Joel Schumacher.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting seeing this movie again after so many years, after having this this preconceived notion that it was like kind of a comedy, when really it's not. Like, I would classify this under like a thriller. And in that sense, I believe that it is pretty effective. All the actors did a really good job. Michael Douglas does a very good job, and Pendergast. Yeah, everyone it feels like everyone really is like getting into the story, into their characters, and it's a positive for the movie. As for like how it made me feel, I was kind of like very iffy about it. Like, there's a lot of things that I do like about the movie still, but then how uncomfortable like a lot of the scenes in, and I guess how not very good it aged has that holding it back. So as far as ratings go, I guess I would give it like a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I personally didn't enjoy this one. I do think that the acting was really good. A lot of the cinematography was a lot better than what I remember from Joel Schumacher movies. And like I said, the special effects also worked. They held up pretty well, all things considered. Just the movie falls apart with just how, I don't know. I just didn't like the overall vibe of it. I wasn't really enjoying the movie as it went along. There were parts that really, really made me feel weird, and I didn't like that. And there was just some things with the story that I also wasn't liking, like how the police officer was like berating his wife at the end of it, and then of course it's like the Han shot first type scenario, where it's like there's no way defense would have shot first. So for that and plenty of other things that we already talked about, I'm giving this one a 2 out of 5.
Okay, I'll go. So this movie, like when I first finished watching, I was like, I think I hated that, like really bad. And then I talked about it a little more. It's like, well, I mean, I guess it had a few good things, but overall, like it was kind of a roller coaster ride. And I agree pretty much with everything Yemmy said here. So yeah, I'd give it a 2.5.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you all. There's some moments where I enjoyed it, but there's a lot of moments I'm just like, it's not like the emotion they're trying to give. It's not playing out. It's just more like this guy is deranged, and like when he's eventually gonna die. So overall, I'll give it 2 out of 5.
All right. So do we want to go over Nick's rating?
Yeah, he didn't give us any reasoning, but he gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Which is the best rating here.
It's the highest one. It's almost the opposite of when Coco wasn't on the podcast that one time Odom was on.
Yeah.
So during the next episode, we'll just ask him what his thoughts were, just in short, and we'll see what he says. And of course, that leads us to a new movie to recommend by yours truly, me, Yemmy the Ferret. Now, I am highly debating between two movies here, and I want you
Batman
guys
Forever and Batman and Robin.
Funny, but no. I'm gonna let you guys decide, 1 or 2.
Do we get to know what 1 and
pick.
2 are first?
No.
Or is it, blind?
It's a blind pick.
1.
I'll pick 1.
I'm gonna say 2, but it doesn't matter.
All right, 1 is winning. So we are going to be watching in the next episode a movie called Over the Hedge from 2006.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's a feel-good sort of movie.
And we need something a little bit lighter here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was directed by Carrie Kirkpatrick and Tim Johnson. Of course, the plot synopsis is a scheming raccoon fools a mismatched family of forest creatures into helping him repay a debt of food by invading the new suburban sprawl that popped up while they were hibernating, and learns a lesson about family himself. This movie stars Bruce Willis, Gary Shandling, Steve Carell, Wanda Sykes, William Shatner, Nick Nolte, and Thomas Hayden Church, to name a few. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and this is one that Greedy and myself used to watch when we were kids. And I do know that this is based off of the comic book strip, which I actually used to read as a kid too. And just as a little like, hey, the writer and artist of the comic followed me on Twitter a while back after I said something about Over the Hedge. I played Over the Hedge, the PS2 game. And that's another reason why I wanted to pick this movie too, just to kind of revisit it and relive the magic of Over the Hedge.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I saw it outside of theaters, but I remember liking it. It was cute and it was fun. So
It's got a
I'm
crazy
excited.
cast too. Bruce
Yeah.
Willis,
Yeah.
Steve Carell.
well, I mean, it's a DreamWorks film. All
Yeah.
DreamWorks, like Madagascar and all those, they always have like
The
instead of
big
getting like
boys.
voice actor talents, they just go, hey, let's just get real actors.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to revisit this. I do have it on DVD, but you can also find it on Amazon. Oh, actually, you can only get it on Amazon Disc. You can get it on Apple iTunes, Vudu, Google Play.
Is this gonna be another one we just watch as a group together on
you
your
could-
copy?
You can rent it from YouTube as well. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could do that. I mean, if you guys want to, we'll talk about that.
we can talk about that off mic.
But hey, maybe you want to add this movie to your DVD collection, though.
Maybe. No, I probably would rent it on YouTube since it's available on YouTube.
Kalas, any quick thoughts about Over the Hedge?
I saw it with my kids for the first time actually, and I did enjoy it watching it with them, and obviously they also very much enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a good recommendation. I give it a thumbs up.
All right, well, if you don't want to be spoiled, or if you want to join the conversation for Over the Hedge from 2006, make sure you watch that movie beforehand. Hey, and actually, I would also recommend playing the PS2 video game that ties into the story. That was also pretty fun as well. You can also see the clip compilation of that on my YouTube channel. Anyways, thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, if you want to join in on the fan vote like Kalas, just give us your recommendations. That's right, at our YouTube channel. If you want to comment on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z, email us at ff.filmfreakswithaz.com. At gmail.com. And you can also go to my Discord and chat in the movie reviews channel. Is there anything else you guys would like to say before we sign off?
Let me just say it is a real pleasure to be here. Thank you again for the invite. It's always a good time talking about movies
we
with the
always
film freaks
appreciate
themselves.
Yeah, we always appreciate you being here.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure having you on, Kalas, in more than one way.
Oh,
I don't know what that means, but
All
Stay
right.
handsome, man.
I gotta go. This has gotten creepy.
All
Tay
right.
Reeves.
Well, I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I'm signing off for Greedy Waffles as well with...
Tay Mation.
Coco Gamer.
and JustKalas.
And we are Film Freaks with a Z. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.